Not to put words in your mouth, Counselor, but are you suggesting the election, not just this one, but previous elections, have been rigged?
Well, there's been some strange things. In fact, there's been strange things ever since I came to Pahrump. My former husband, J.J. Johnson, very, very popular. They said he only got 8% of the vote. Doug Richards, at first they said he won, and then in the morning they said he lost. J.J. didn't contest that. He was very much the gentleman. He didn't want to be the, quote, sore loser. Ray Mallow and Don Lee did. The next election, Bill Garlow contested it after they said that even in his own precinct, nobody had voted for him, even his family. Well, she retracted that, but it turned out there were 800 registered voters who really did not exist, of which 359 were voting out of the same address. These were purged from the voting rolls by Judge Lane. Every election, something strange happens. In 2008, Harley Culkin, who had won in Pahrump in the assembly race 2 years earlier in the primary against Lorraine Murray, lost to Gary Hollis. This year, he was the most vote-getting of any of the town board candidates. It seems, for Harley at least, when there's an election where he's really going to learn something, he loses. If it's something else, he wins. We had another candidate, Donna Jokinen, who was very much part of the CCSC ticket. Very nice, soft-spoken woman, a real lady. She won by a landslide as well in the Democratic primary. Just, why are we doing so well in one race and not in the other? We clearly had a lot of support from this community, and I would think it would be a dereliction and a slap in the face to all the people who voted for me not to do this.
You touched on it briefly just a short while ago. You've got scores upon scores of returned letters.
Yes, and these came back from a mailer that was sent out for me as undeliverable, just like in this story, Bill Garlow. And this was a list that was purchased this year, right in April. This is supposedly the current list, and yet we have hundreds of people who are no longer living at their address. Now, admittedly, somebody might move, across the town and just go back to their old precinct to vote. Big deal. But not this many. Are these people somehow being voted by somebody else? I don't know. I want to find out. If Mr. Kent won, so be it. Fine. I just want to know. We want to know the truth, what really happened here.
Judge Lane has signed this complaint.
No, he has not agreed that we won the election. All he has done is put a freeze on the election materials until they could be analyzed. That's all he's done. All he's done is say, put it in a room in the county storage facilities, lock it up, and don't let anyone touch it. He has made no opinion as to the merits of what we're saying. He simply said he wants to err on the side of caution and make sure the materials are safe and can be scrutinized and cannot be tampered with further.
When will this all take place, the analysis of the election results?
Well, I don't know. We're in touch with various agencies as we speak, and if we can't get an agency, we'll have to get someone privately, and it is set for hearing on the 22nd at 1:15 at the courthouse here in Pahrump, whether it's going to be extended or what's going to happen then.
Certainly this is going to cost some money.
Not necessarily, not if it's done by the Department of Justice or the Secretary of State. Whether we have to retake the primary, whether they simply go through the votes and say, oops, we're wrong, Nancy, you get to be DA after all, there's a lot of different things that could happen, or it might turn out that, well, this was just some strange statistical quirks, and yes, you won on election day, but a week earlier, Mr. Kent won.
Who are the defendants named in the complaint?
The people that allegedly won, that's statutory. Mr. Kent, in Ms. Cox's race, both Boraski and Mr. Moore, because they allegedly tied, and Tony DeMeo in Ted Holmes's race, and Sandra Merlino because she was in charge.